Holy shit.
Well, shit.
Finger looking good.
AEW.
Yeah.
AEW.
Fight forever.
All right. We are here. Full Gear was yesterday, but we're recording it on Sunday.
We are here. Full gear. That rhymes. Let's go. The show was awesome. That did not rhyme.
We had the buy-in match, which was the NWA Women's Title match. Serena Deeb defending against Allison Kay, a.k.a. Sienna.
Decent match, worst match on the show.
Deeb did a neck breaker into the ropes to Kay. Kay did a big boot to Deeb. Deeb did a backstabber to Kay. Kay did a double choke bomb to Deeb. There was a double clothesline spot. Deeb did a swinging neck breaker and a hanging neck breaker back to back to Kay. Kay did an Alabama slam to Deeb. Kay did a big ending / the AK-47 to Deeb.
That's what it was, the big ending.
Yes. Deeb did the dragon screw to Kay, and then Deeb did the Serenity lock to Kay and made her tap. Serena Deeb wins.
That Serenity lock looks painful as shit.
What was the Serenity lock again?
Oh,
Now you gotta explain it, but I remember it looking really
it's
bad.
the submission hold she was doing where she had like the arm.
Yeah, it's like an arm.
She had the leg at the
Sharpshooter type
same
thing.
sharpshooter type thing at the same time.
Like she locked the arm with something, and then she had like a sharpshooter weird cloverleaf thing.
I'll have to go look back. I'll have to go look back at it.
It was good,
Very good.
especially for a pre-show.
It looked a little clunky at the beginning, but once they got into the story about who was selling the knee, was it Kay selling the knee?
Yes.
When Kay was selling her knee, the match was getting pretty good for me.
Man,
So
selling stuff is going to be a highlight of the show.
yeah, for sure. Every match has some.
I like the neck breaker on the middle rope spot.
Yeah, that was really cool.
good.
That was cool.
Is that move called something or?
I know.
I
God,
don't
I
think
don't know
so.
either.
It just looked really good.
Yeah.
It's called the neck breaker.
But ratings
7.
7.
Oh yeah, 7 for sure.
That's my lowest rated match on the show. So.
And Thunder Rosa also comes out after the match and telling Serena Deeb she wants a shot at her title.
Which is fantastic, and this is going to play into when we open the show here in a second. So that's NWA appearing in AEW for the second or third time now. But we open.
Do your stupid fucking joke.
What, the Impact TNA
Not that part, the other part.
Impact?
Well, if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. You
I'm
know that,
saying,
right?
man.
I almost forgot about
I'm not doing it. I'm getting there. Okay, so I'm going to do the first joke, and I'll do the joke you think we're going to do.
Okay.
So we have Don Callis on commentary for Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page, which we opened with, which is shocking in itself. Don Callis, Impact Wrestling. So in the last 10 minutes, we have AEW, NWA, and Impact all represented on an AEW show. And also, it's Jackal. It's a Jackal.
Wait, did you say Jackal?
Jackal.
Jackal.
It's a Jackal.
Stupid joke.
Shut up. It's a Jackal.
So then, the reason that Don Callis is on commentary here, they don't specifically
Jackal.
say, but the reason I'm guessing is just because back in Canada, Don Callis' manager was Kenny Omega's uncle. So we started off with the double eliminator tournament final
also
match.
kind of plant some seeds for maybe some other stuff going down.
Possibly.
There was an Eddie Kingston promo right before the
Before
intro.
the show started, yeah.
You want me to go over that?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Who was the lady doing the interviews back there?
Dasha.
Dasha.
Okay,
no,
so-
was it Dasha?
No, I'm
This
sorry.
one?
It wasn't Dasha. It was the guy.
Alex Marvez.
Okay, Alex
It wasn't
Marvez.
Alex Marvez. It was the young guy.
Oh, who the fuck that is?
Okay, so an interview was back there, and Eddie Kingston has his family with him. And
Eddie Kingston and his fam, it says on
His
the
fam.
thing.
And he asked Bunny, because Kingston was going to talk, but he let everybody else have their words. I'll get their words in first, and he asked Bunny if Kingston would be able to make Moxley quit, and she's like, "What kind of stupid question is that? Duh, like what? You're dumb."
What kind of stupid answer is that?
Yeah.
Like, duh.
But however, this guy knew Spanish and he could speak to the Lucha Brothers, but we don't know what they said.
They said Cerro, Mero.
No, they actually didn't. But the weirdest thing I got out of it was Phoenix seemed really annoyed when Penta was talking.
Planting seeds.
And then Eddie Kingston finally gets his 2 cents in. It says he doesn't care about Pac or Archer or anybody else. He just cares about Moxley because he has the AEW
The
World title.
World's
He did say that. You're right.
He's the only one that says worlds.
Oh yeah, he
That was how they set up way back in the day.
did they?
And he
Gordon
basically-
Soley, Jim Ross, all of them said it with the worlds.
He was basically emotionless, but it played into
His storyline.
the character, so it was actually a really good promo.
Yeah.
All right. So
And then good old JR gets an intro before the main card go.
All right, Jim Ross is in the ring. All right, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah. Right off the bat.
You
Good
couldn't have
Lord.
picked a better match to start it off with. So Page has a big boot and a fallaway slam to Omega. Page has a superplex to Omega. Omega does a moonsault off the barricade on the outside to Page. Omega does the Arthro Crusher to Page. Or Arturo.
Yeah,
whatever.
but you said even worse the second time.
Omega did a moonsault to Page. Page did a springboard clothesline, but it wasn't the buckshot lariat to Omega. Off of the turnbuckle, like Brett's rope, I believe it was.
Yeah, and I think Omega was on the other side of the apron. Or I'm sorry, the other side of the ropes on the apron.
Omega did the Terminator tope to Page. Omega did a drop kick to Page's knee. Page did a powerbomb to Omega on the ramp and a pop-up powerbomb in the ring to
Well, they're
Omega.
both pop-ups, but one was a pop-up. The one in the ring was a sit-out.
Omega did the Tiger Driver 98 to Page.
Tiger Driver 98.
Omega did a Snapdragon to Page. Page did a clothesline to Omega. Page did the Deadeye to Omega on the ramp.
That was actually one of the best close like false finishes of the match too.
Omega did two V-triggers to Page.
That one too.
Omega did the one winged angel to Page, and Kenny Omega wins the double eliminator tournament.
So explaining all of that doesn't do what that match was. Justice
That was
at
great.
all. There's the fucking moonsault on the outside off the barricade.
That was sweet.
I don't know how he gets his feet on that where the barrier doesn't move.
And stop and then flip back.
Right. Because he has to push off it and doesn't fall or lose his footing. It's good for him. God
They
damn.
nailed all their moments. in
Yeah.
this. And the one time it looked like they didn't, he sold it when he went for the you can't escape and he fell.
Yep.
But he sold it as a knee injury, which actually made it look like that was actually a planned spot.
True.
Even if it wasn't, he sold it like it was.
What was that one spot where it looked like Omega hurt his knee after
He just said that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
Yeah, you can't escape. He does the fall away forward roll, Samoan drop thing, and then he usually jumps up and goes and does a moonsault, but he fell, so he sold it as an injury, which saved it. from being a spot.
the beginning was. I like the little title that Tate did for Kenny Omega for his entrance. I thought was really cool. And you told me why Paige didn't get one because that's Omega's gimmick.
Well, that's basically trying to show how much better Kenny thinks he is than everybody
Yeah.
else.
I mean, one of them, they said, the most 5-star matches from Dave Meltzer with 42 5-star matches.
Yeah.
Or wherever the fuck the number
They
is.
just start pulling out like random news articles. Like WrestleJoy got mentioned on Dynamite a couple weeks back.
Brian Alvarez's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like they're just throwing it out there, and they got the sweeper girls out there.
Yep.
I didn't get that at all. It looked really out of place.
It's
But
it's his cleaner gimmick. So they send
It's
out
a-
hot
it's his-
chicks with the fucking.
It's his cleaner gimmick,
That's
and
true.
every single match they've had similarity to his opponent. One week when he was facing Penta, they had the masks on. What did they do for the Sunny Kiss one? I forgot.
I have no idea. Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm sorry. Omega goes for a handshake, and Paige just says basically "fuck off." They got really physical outside. They're throwing each other into barriers and chopping the shit out of each other. Speaking of a drinking game, is friggin' the chest slaps fair, but jeez Louise, dude.
You'd be
Yeah,
drunk
this,
as
this,
fuck.
Yeah.
this is the first match of.
Yeah, this is the first match. I like the idea that the one wing angel wasn't the finish. I thought that was really cool.
It was the finish. It did end up being the finish.
Yeah, he attempted it once, and it wasn't the finish. And
But
then
when he actually did
he
hit
hit it, and then
he
it
won
was.
with it.
Maybe I should pay attention to what you said. sorry guys.
He did win it with the one.
Yeah, his,
I was like this match was still great. Don't get me wrong, but like one thing I thought was missing was more fire from Adam Page. I'm not saying he wasn't motivated or didn't give 100%. I was missing a comeback because he got his ass whipped for like about 10, 15 minutes almost.
But when he did hit some stuff, it was some good stuff. The
I know.
pop-up power bombs and the Deadeye. And
Yeah, and that was great, but it didn't last long enough. I mean, he never really got into the match as far as I could tell. I
he
mean,
didn't get his comeuppance.
I
Omega didn't, yeah.
I kind of have an explanation for that. Like I said,
Yeah.
Build best bout machine, Kenny Omega, cleaner Kenny Omega. Every time Hangman tried to get back into it,
Right.
they reverse each other. Like Hangman would reverse whatever he was trying to do, or Hangman would reverse Kenny, but Kenny would eventually get the upper hand in the reverse battle and just take control of the match again. And that's pretty much how it just went down, back and forth, multiple times. They had to happen.
And I'm down with that.
They do the same reverses. He just ended up being the one on top by the time they stop.
I gave this match an 8.5.
9.
Yeah, 9.
And again, despite your explanation, I still think I would give it a 9. I think if Paige have gotten a little bit more offense.
Well, that's fine. We like differing
I
opinions.
just thought it was
on
going to be
here.
longer, to be honest.
Maybe it needed it. I don't know. But
I definitely thought it was going to be longer.
but I didn't think it seemed too long. I didn't think it seemed
I think it was
too
about-
short
I
either.
think
it
it's
wasn't
about
too long at all.
I think it was about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't too long at all. That wasn't the issue. It's just he's saying that maybe a couple extra minutes he thought it would have been might have actually helped it a little bit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, I'm sorry, 8.5. Sorry,
Yeah, but it was good. Yeah.
So then we go into a
That's really
promo.
good.
What's the promo?
there wasn't one.
No, it went right to John Silver.
Okay, so I went to John Silver versus Orange Cassidy, OC.
This was fun.
Yeah.
OC did his shin kicks to Silver as Silver's yelling, "That doesn't hurt!"
We actually got up and like reenacted the don't put your hands in your pockets. Don't do it. Don't. And you're just like
But Silver did the best move.
fucking mocking it the entire time.
Silver did the
And
best move by literally taking OC's hands, taking them out of his pockets, and ripping the pockets out of his pants.
Power source gone.
No, didn't end up mattering.
I know.
So then Silver did a vertical suplex to OC. OC did a crossbody and a DDT to Silver. Silver did a one-armed gorilla press as he was flexing with his other arm.
Yeah.
That was kind of impressive. Really impressive, actually.
OC did the Falcon Arrow to Silver. No one wins from the Falcon Arrow.
No one kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
OC did a stunner to Silver. Silver did a spinning torture rack suplex looking thing
That
to
looked
OC.
really
It was really cool looking. It
Like a
just
torture rack helicopter.
don't know what the hell to call it.
I think a helicopter better.
OC did the orange punch and the
Big
beach
dog.
break to Silver.
I think that's the whole reason he does it too, because it's so ridiculous and it just
Orange
kind of
Cassidy
diminishes
gets the win.
it. As he should.
Yeah. This match was freaking awesome.
John Silver made this match for me. Like we've seen what Orange Cassidy can do, but putting him with Silver was just great.
Yeah, the best dynamic was the beginning, all the comedy stuff, all the shin kicks, and then Silver flexing. But when it got serious, it got serious.
And they're both still
Chop
good.
battle.
They're
Chop
still
battle and I don't think there was this match just flowed from beginning to end. As far as I can tell, there may be like one rest hold, but as far as I can tell, they never stopped for like 12 minutes.
No.
And of course, Cassidy is so good at coming from underneath and selling. And I think the part where Orange Cassidy came back was what I felt was missing from Omega and Page. If we just seen more of what Cassidy did from Page, I would have given the first match a 9 for sure. But so I gave this match an 8.5 as well.
I was gonna say an 8.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, I don't go
I
lower
liked
than
it.
7.5 on my.
It was
on
great.
my card.
See, I like a little bit longer. It would have been nice. I'm glad what I predicted didn't happen, though. I'm glad that Miro wasn't involved at all. And I'm also glad the Best Friends and Dark Order were sent in the back.
I'm actually gonna follow up with that because that comes into play here. Pretty much every one of these matches for bell to bell wise, there's really not much fuckery. Like okay, the Jericho thing, but that worked.
And
Like,
the women's
no-
title match.
Yeah, but that worked too. I'm just saying, like nobody outside of like actually hitting anybody. Like Vicky hit Cheetah with the kendo stick in that match, but other than that, nobody really got too much involved,
No.
which I really liked.
I did find it funny when the Dark Order's on the ramp, Colt Cabana's waving high and everyone else is doing like the claw.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he's waving high. Everybody's doing the claw, and then he's over here every time they show a female, like, hi, Brandy. Hi.
Why wouldn't you?
Hi, Anna Jay. Hi, Tay Conti.
Just every time
Hi,
there's
Aubrey.
a hot girl on screen. Hi.
Hi, Red Velvet.
Those camera angles on top of the turnbuckles, those are awesome.
Oh yeah,
Those were pretty cool.
and they can move too. So. They're
You
not,
can move.
They're not stationary.
Could you imagine it being timed to where they go to that camera and somebody gets up the top rope and hits it, and you just see like a face coming into into your TV?
Or imagine if they did it in the wrong time in a superplex spot and you see butt.
But
Actually, the things I'll say about like I'm gonna say it now because it plays out throughout the show. Outside of like the certain shots that needed to be shot that way, the camera angles picked up everything pretty well to the point where even if there was like a botch, the camera angle that they used covered it up really well.
Yeah, there was only one camera angle, but that was on purpose.
Yeah.
That covered up. Well, it wasn't a botch, but you missed the move, but that was on purpose, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this match. It was fun.
The production of the show was really well, like shot and everything too.
Well, and the show was really fun in general. So then we had a promo then, right?
Nope.
Just
Right.
jumped right into
Then we
it.
went to the TNT title match.
Well, what they usually do is they go to the hype videos for each of the matches. But
Oh yeah,
We go to the TNT Championship match between Darby Allin and
Cody Rhodes.
yeah,
Cody got his name
and
back.
then that got
a pop.
They got super pop from the 1,000 people in attendance,
Oh yeah,
and they were loving this show.
Cody Rhodes and Darby
Thank you,
Allin.
fans, for showing up.
Thank you for having fans at all.
First and foremost, Allin did a tope to Cody's back. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the first like big spot. Like Cody was just fucking with him for most of the beginning of the match.
Yep.
Rhodes catapulted Allin onto the ramp from a hammerlock position.
Which fucked up Darby's arm, and he pretty much worked on that for
Yeah.
a lot of the match.
Great
Rhodes-
job doing it too.
Rhodes did a short arm scissors to Allin. Rhodes spiked Allin into. Well, he had him in an. Allin was in an old school position, and he literally took him and spiked him into the turnbuckle, which that was pretty cool. Rhodes did a top rope avalanche suplex to Allin, aka attempted coffin drop.
It just looked like he crushed his pelvis when they landed.
Rhodes missed a moonsault.
No, of course.
Allin did a Canadian destroyer to Rhodes. Rhodes ran into the top, did a crossroads off the top rope to Allin.
I thought it was over there. I mean, he got the rope break out of it.
Allin then put Rhodes in a sleeper. Rhodes did a coffin drop with Allin on his back. That was pretty sweet. Then Rhodes slams Allin twice. Rhodes does a gorilla slam to Allin. Allin does the Last Supper to Rhodes. Allin did a flip over stunner and a coffin drop to Rhodes. After multiple roll up attempts, Allin wins.
I was
the
so
title.
glad that the coffin drop wasn't the end and that the ending they did was what it was.
Yeah, that was a great fucking match.
You don't think it was a fluky kind of a win?
I mean, just given
Like you couldn't just win convincingly with the coffin drop?
Like, okay,
You know,
let's
with
just
the actual
say this.
finisher maneuver?
they tried it. They've done this match 3 times. So they
Fair,
had to
okay, I'm just asking.
That's my answer to that.
They gave him a match where you can easily build a rematch for it because Cody can play it off as a fluky win.
And then you can get the actual one.
And then, yep, he can get the actual win. So it's totally fine the way they pulled it off.
Sounds good to me.
Then you had Arn Anderson outside of the ring pissed that Cody didn't listen to the game plan.
Yeah.
Well, the moment Cody started doing push-ups, you're like, you fucking
That
idiot."
was that was
Hubris.
yeah, I wrote it right here. Hubris. Why are you doing all these fucking push-ups? Why didn't
Why are you doing all these fucking push-ups?
because well, I'm speaking from Arn Anderson's perspective because Arn Anderson was seen young at Cody to stay focused, and like that's a great spot. I love those little details like that.
He was being the coach like he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Darby Allin pretty much did the rest of the match with one arm because the other one was pretty much
He
lent for
was
like
selling
85
like a-
completely selling it.
Selling like a motherfucker.
Darby Allin was his entrance makes him look so unique. He comes in pretty much sitting through the window of a car as it's coming up, and then he comes up on the roof and breaks the windshield with his skateboard, leaves it there, and then just walks out to the ring. And he's sitting there like an athlete would when they're ready for the biggest match of their life. They're staying just chilling out, staying focused. He's thinking about things, and he has his head down.
Cody and his entourage. Fucking,
Well, right, exactly. While Cody has like 10 people surrounded around the ring, and he's getting his name chanted by people after he can reveal his last name.
Well, see,
And-
I give him credit. At least Cody's entourage didn't stay out there the whole match.
Yeah.
Obviously Arn did because Arn's his quote-unquote coach, but Brandy was gone, Billy Gunn was gone, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes were gone.
Yeah. There was a couple times where Cody wanted to help up Darby Allin off the mat in the beginning, and then basically Darby Allin said "fuck off." And the second time that Rhodes did that, he slapped him in his face. Oh, I'm sorry, slapped him in the back of his head. Pretty much said, "Hey, look, I don't need you. I'm gonna kick your ass now." And then that's what proceeded to happen.
Yeah, Cody was wrestling a mix of face and heel.
He was.
I mean, obviously he's supposed to be the heel,
Well, he definitely played face at the end.
but he's also wrestling more face as well because he'll like do a super aggressive move and then he'll be like, "Are you okay?"
I was a bit surprised that Cody didn't avenge his loss at the end by maybe a jumping sorry Darby Allin, but that happened later anyway, so good. But Cody Rhodes is playing a tweener really, really well here. It's so effective because when he's doing his when he's being aggressive, you see the heel come out and it's cool. Or then when you see him be helpful and be classy, it works too.
It really does.
Using that is, I'm going to rate this match through right before Taz comes out. So with the taking a knee, giving the belt to him, actually passing it to him, and that was a good moment, and putting that all together.
The only nitpick I have, and this is a really small nitpick, is why did Cody go after the arm and not the leg, which is what Darby Allin's main weapon is his speed.
Maybe Darby can sell arms better than legs.
Or I mean, maybe he's going for it just because the fact that a lot of moves that wrestlers do are mostly related to arms, like doing a slam. You can't do a basic slam if you don't have an arm.
Well, Darby Allin isn't a basic wrestler. He does a lot of high impact things. Plus, his finisher is the coffin drop, which all it is he just falls backwards on you. You don't need to have help. You don't need arms for that.
Well, my favorite moment of the match, which is weird, is when he goes for that he sprawls out in the air. He goes for that big air jump, hip toss. He throws himself as high as he can and hip tosses him when he lands. And Cody just said "fuck that," and threw him to the ground when he was in mid.
Yep.
He's like, "No, done."
Or on top of that too, it's if your arm is completely dead, let's say.
Which basically what he did. He went into an arm bar out of that.
Yeah, if you're completely dead in the arm, you're gonna have a harder time climbing the ropes.
Well, I don't know if I buy that either because he has one other arm and he can jump. So.
Well, yeah, but he's not just gonna jump from in the ring up there.
Sure he can.
I mean,
I've seen Rob Van Dam do it, and Darby Allin's smaller than Rob Van Dam, so.
Yeah, but RVD can do things that only RVD can do, like
RVD
that split-legged fucking chairs pull-ups that he does.
I'm just saying.
RVD can smoke a half a pound of weed and go wrestle a match for all.
Plus, he also has 2 girlfriends.
2 phones.
He's got Katie Forbes and that other chick.
It's ratings.
I'm gonna give this match a 9.5.
Holy shit!
I would have given it a 10 if it wasn't for the selling with the leg as opposed to the arm. It was a great match.
Holy shit!
Damn.
Close. It was close. If he'd have gone after a leg and they used that as a selling point, this match would have got a 10.
What did you give it?
I gave it 8.5.
I gave it an 8.
Huh? I liked it better than the rest of the Cody matches. I'm glad Darby actually went over this time. It adds more interest to the TNT title for me.
I really like it too. It's just, damn, son, I can't compete with that rating.
It had every little deal that you could think of was covered, and all of it was.
That's the most genuinely shocked I've been, where you've outrated us on our shit.
A good chunk too.
It's good. It was great. I loved it.
All right, then what did we do? Was it the next match or was it a promo?
No, fucking Taz comes out.
Oh, this is Team Taz. That's right.
This is the low point of the show, but it's still got a point across. So I don't hate this.
So Taz comes out and basically shits on the emotion that's being portrayed in the ring from Rhodes to Allen.
Wow, you won the TNT title.
I need a plastic. Well, of course it's a big deal. I don't know why you would start to bury a title. So shut up, Taz.
Well, the best part about it is he goes, "I would tell you to act like you've been here before, but you never have been."
So either way, shut up, Taz.
So how's he supposed to act like he's been there before if he never has been?
And Taz had the nice, I need a plastic bag because I'm about to puke, and shut up, Taz. Anyway, it was all just to distract Rhodes and Allen and Cage and Brian Cage and was it Reggie Starks? Ricky Starks jumped both of them.
Mini Rock.
And Darby Allin eventually gets thrown to the Full Gear sign and almost gets his arm broken via the car door.
You go Will Hobbs.
Those 2 guys set Darby Allin on the top of the car, and what's his name again?
Will Hobbs.
Will Hobbs saves
Jeff Cobb.
Will Hobbs saves Darby Allin from getting his arm broken through a door. So yeah,
I mean, new TNT champion. I love it.
Yeah, Darby Allin should be freaking great.
I think it's more it's more for me unpredictable having Darby as champ than it was for Cody. You're like, oh, Cody's gonna go over.
Well, yeah, because now you got all these matchups that you can think of, like Darby Allin versus OC. You could
Sammy Guevara again, but this time for the title. Matt Hardy.
You could do Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
You could do Mark Quinn.
And
Ray Phoenix.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Does the TNT title get defended every week?
When it was Cody's
When it was
the
Cody,
first
it was
time,
basically
yes.
every week. And but like I said, it's been around for 2 months. Well, since Double or Nothing, so 6 months, and they've defended it 17 or so times. So it's often.
When Brody was champ, no.
He defended it twice. Well, 3 times counting the Cody match that he lost it.
Yeah, because
Because he beat Dustin and
how long
he beat
did Brody officially have it for? Like
41 days.
And he defended it 3 times, and that was it.
And he lost it the 3rd time.
But Cody's first defense, it was almost every week, -1, and that's when he teamed up with Matt Cardona versus Dark Order.
The weird thing about this one is Cody only defended it twice, and both of them were against Orange Cassidy.
Freshly squeezed.
Before he defended against Darby here.
Freshly
But
squeezed.
This was the right decision, and holy shit, a 9.5.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
It hit it checked every box for me. So after that match, we had the Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, aka the American
Cutie
Nightmares.
Marshall.
aka the American Nightmares. Basically, the
Natural
whole,
nightmares.
I don't remember specifically what either of them said, other than the fact that they have
a bunkhouse
they
match.
announced they have a bunkhouse match with Butcher and Blade, and if no one knows what that a bunkhouse match is basically everyone starts in the ring and you eliminate them through the cage door. Dusty Rhodes made it famous back in like 88, 87,
That's
somewhere
gonna
around
be so
there.
weird to watch.
And that'll happen on Dynamite.
But that was like 15 people in that match. This is only 4. So I don't get it. Unless they're just gonna have a cage match and they're just calling it a bunkhouse match. I'm not sure. You'll find out on Wednesday.
There'll be a fucking cage with a bunch of hay in it or something.
We're gonna mix that
cow
truck
running
that Rikishi fell in the back of in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell
Wow,
match
what a
with
bump
a
that
cage
was.
match.
Jeez.
Yeah, QT's gonna take that bump.
He's too cute for that.
Oof.
Oh, you think he's cute?
Here's what I thought was going to be the low point of the show, but actually it was pretty good.
AEW Women's Title match: Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah.
First things first, Shida does 3 drop kicks to Rose.
Just to take her down, because she wouldn't go down.
Shida does a running knee on the outside to Rose. Rose does a clothesline to Shida. Vicky Guerrero hits Shida with a kendo stick, which Shida brought to the ring, so dumb face.
There's a lot of dumb face, dumb heel stuff in this match.
Dumb ref too.
Ooh. So, this one was really weird, but I don't know how to say it. Rose was doing a submission hold to Shida while her leg was in the ring structure outside.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thought that was cool.
It was
It was unique.
Yeah, when there's some little bars had space in it, and Sheeta's leg was wrapped around it. Basically, she maneuvered it like a sharpshooter, like how Bret Hart would lock the leg and just pull on it. I guess that's one thing. It's kind of like a figure 4, but using the ring apron. I guess I don't know how to describe it any better than that.
I just haven't seen the actual ring structure be used in submission.
We've seen a lot of that in the past few pay-per-views we watched, especially with the concrete, the jungle concrete match.
That was good.
Concrete
too.
jungle match, excuse me.
But yeah, so that happened, and Shida suplexed Rose, which is like holy shit.
Yeah, this guy over here couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Huh?
You were so shocked.
Oh yeah, I'm just yeah.
Holy Shida is what I'm gonna say.
Holy Sheeta.
Shida then did a crossbody to Rose. Rose gave Shida a knee to the ass on the ropes. That was kind of funny looking.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Rose did a clothesline and a powerbomb to Shida. Rose did a knee to Shida. Shida did a top rope Falcon Arrow to Rose, which looked really fucking awesome.
And then she didn't pin, yeah.
Vicky then decided to pull Shida's foot. Shida did a Falcon Arrow to Rose on the inside of the ring. Shida did a running knee to Rose. Shida did another running knee to Rose's back. Then 4 knee strikes to Rose, and Hikaru Shida retains the AEW Women's Championship.
This was really good, and I'm going to follow up and add a few more details in there because you didn't mention the parts where both, not just Nyla Rose, like, I figured Nyla Rose was going to lose when she picked her up from the powerbomb, didn't pin her. She's like 1-2, picked her up.
Hubris.
And went for Shida's move.
I cap locked that one. I'm gonna put it down. I cap locked that one.
She went for Shida's move. It didn't happen, but then later Shida did the same thing and just fucking laughed about it.
Yeah, it was great. I love that.
More hubris.
Yeah.
And then beat the shit out of her.
What was
on
that
the
little
mat.
whoopsie pin thing? I didn't get that. Was it a botch?
It was-
or did
no,
she
it
just
was-
fall?
No, she literally just fucking put her ass on her chest.
And
like
then
pin.
with the pin part of it was, I think it was Sheeta trying to pull her inner Kenny Omega from the Young Bucks match where they used the golden trigger and he kicked out right away because she used her move. So she's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Didn't let that happen.
I'm glad it started off. I'm glad Sheeta started off by like trying to basically like take Nyla Rose off her feet, but she was fighting her fists, elbows, forearms, the drop kicks, and all that. Then they went the outside, and that's where like it really kept being a fight. And then Vicky Guerrero got involved, and that's where the selling of the knee happened.
See, the worst bump in the match was Vicky's bump.
Yeah, what was that? It was just like a.
Well, because she just
was-
tripped up, like pushed, like Nyla ran at Sheeta. Sheeta moved, and Nyla ran into Vicky, but
And
barely ran into her, and she just like
It took
fell
her
to
5
the ground.
minutes to fall. It took her like 5 minutes to fall.
Excuse me.
But overall, I'm surprised how 50-50 this was. I thought it was going to be more of an ass kicking in general. Because Nyla's a beast. He's going to
Yeah,
beat the shit
The
out of her.
native beast, not Rhino.
But it was very, yeah, you and you. Hey, it's Rhino.
But it's not Rhino because there was an NR on her tights. So.
Gore.
I enjoyed the fact it was a fight, and they both let each other kind of like get their shit in, quote unquote. But it all made sense because everything they did led to the next spot, But there was no spots. It was all like, hey, look, I'm gonna hit you hard, and you take it. And Sheeta answered back. It was, I love this match. I gave it 7.5.
I'll give 7.5 as well. We didn't see our favorite spot though. Why the fuck are you diving at a bigger opponent? We didn't see that
True,
here.
we didn't.
The smaller person diving at the bigger person.
Sheeta's the smartest wrestler in all of wrestling.
She did the crossbody, but she actually hit the move.
Yeah,
so-
she hit the moves. That's fine.
Hey, well, I guess Sheeta just learned how to jump at a bigger opponent and knock him down.
She wasn't caught.
I'm actually going to give this an 8 because I gave the Double or Nothing no DQ match where Sheeta won the title originally a 7.5, and I like this more, surprisingly. So I'll give it an 8, and the right person won.
Very nice.
So then Vicky Guerrero is pissed off at Nyla,
Yep.
and she slaps her,
And
Nyla
talks
was-
shit to her, and then
and-
Nyla looks like she's gonna cry and
Yeah,
walks away.
Basically cries and leaves. I would have just marked the shit. I was like, greatest show ever. She just powerbombed Vicky.
Yeah.
in the middle
Beast
of the ring.
bomb.
I went right back to WrestleMania 6 after Andre and Haku were fighting Demolition and they lost, and Heenan is giving Andre the riot act, and Andre is pretty much like, I'm stop, like, I'm sorry, it's all Haku's fault, he's pointing away or whatever, and then Heenan slaps him, and Andre goes, I'm like, and it snaps right to his face. Would anybody in the world ever want to see Andre look at you like that? Like he's ready to kill you? And then he grabs Bobby Heenan. I thought Nyla Rose was going to do it, but maybe down the line we're going to see Vicky and Nyla's tension escalate.
Please don't say a match between those two. That'd be fucked.
No way.
I hope you didn't buy your voluptuous Vixen shirt or whatever the fuck their shirt was.
Fuck no.
Maybe
I wouldn't have bought that.
The one where they're in their big two-piece bikinis.
Yeah, if anything, we'd buy it for Albert.
I'm not wearing a two-piece.
No, the
No,
shirt
it'd
is
be a fucking
it says
shirt that has Vicky and Nyla and bikinis
in
on it.
bikinis, and then it says voluptuous Vixens or something like that.
You
Something
can buy
Vixens.
it. I ain't wearing it.
Like, here you go,
Why not?
Albert.
It's your birthday present.
Yeah, you didn't want to pick.
Okay.
You didn't want to pick.
Save your money.
You didn't want to pick an AEW shirt, so here you go.
Down the line, I wonder if Vicky's gonna get another addition to her stable.
If anything, she would go for Riho.
Oh,
Excuse me.
We already beat Nyla, so don't worry about that anymore.
Yeah, that's why she's gotta get Riho.
Miru.
Because she's already beat Nyla.
Oh boy, Riho would.
98 pounds.
How was Riho not broken in half? Wrestling.
All right, then was there a promo after that?
Nope, we go right into that tag team title match.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy Sheeta.
I'm gonna listen to you talk, and then I'm gonna make my final decision on my rating on
We
this.
had the AEW tag title match, FTR versus the Young Bucks. Sheeta.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
another one of those selling is key matches.
It really is. Come on, pictures.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
So,
Oh, he's got a list of all the.
Very nice, very nice. Loved it.
So at the very beginning, the Bucks and FTR are just kind of doing basic hold for hold, arm drag,
Yeah, the
arm
typical-
drag, arm
yeah,
drag,
the typical
drop
back and
kick,
forth,
drop
yeah.
kick, yeah. So Nick does a slam to Dax.
Oh, Cool.
Dax and Nick both do arm
It'll be
drags.
a long one.
Yeah.
The Bucks both do Hurricane Ranas to both members of FTR. FTR are working on Matt's leg. Cash hits Mac in the leg on the turnbuckle. Cash then made sure that Nick couldn't get tagged in by taking him out on the apron, which is pretty good. Cash did a splash to Matt's knee. Cash dove and hit the barricade. FTR making it impossible for Matt to get a tag.
I love that stuff.
It was very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Nick did a clothesline bulldog combo to FTR. Then FTR starts to get in the Bucks, start getting in these combinations where they're doing other people's moves.
Yeah.
First, they did the heart attack. FTR did the heart attack to Nick.
That was nice.
Matt did a spear to Cash. FTR did the Steiner's bulldog combination there to Matt. Then Cash did a spear to Nick through the ropes. Then the Bucks did the 3D to Dax.
Ooh.
Matt did the RKO, but
Twist of Fate Swanton.
Twist of Fate
combination.
Swanton to Dax. Dax did a powerbomb to Nick. Matt did a super kick with a bad leg to Dax's bad hand, which was actually pretty good because then they both sold the fuck out of both injuries.
Yeah. Where did the blood come from on his hand?
That's actually more of an interesting thing. I have no idea where that actually came from.
Yeah,
I know
it's a
his hand-
legit injury though because the
Maybe-
doctor
maybe
is
bladed on
fixing
them.
it.
Look, I know his hand hurt because he punched the ring post. I don't know where he got the blood from though.
Yeah, I don't punch it like that.
Dax did a powerbomb. So FTR did the double knee combination that DIY used to do to Matt.
Yeah.
And they even said DIY, which I thought was
Really, really interesting.
Nick did the Kamangiri.
Kamingiri.
Kamangiri to Cash.
Hey, I got you on a Japanese thing.
Got him.
Matt did the sharpshooter to Dax. Then the Bucks started doing the double sharpshooters to FTR.
I love
Obviously,
that spot.
Nick and Cash are on the outside. And then right when they're about to tap, they grab each other's hands.
Yeah, I love that spot.
Then Matt, quote-unquote, broke Dax's fingers on his bad hand by doing the Marty Skrull crack the fingers bit. The Bucks did the BT trigger to Dax. Nick
Golden Trigger.
or golden trigger. What BT trigger? Same thing.
I don't like that they stole somebody else's move and put their own name on it.
Nick did
That never happens
Nick
to
did a
wrestling.
plancha to Cash. Cash did a powerbomb to Nick onto a table, which did not break. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was supposed to break, but either way, the effect was there.
FTR did a spike pile driver to Matt. Dax does the inverted figure four to Matt, which was actually his finisher in WWE. Nick did a 450 to Dax.
Scott Dawson.
Cash did a super kick to Matt. Cash did a 450 splash attempt.
A springboard 450 splash
Right.
attempt. He hesitated. He's like, no flips, just fists. I'm going to flip for once.
Hubris. I cap blocked that one too.
And then they fucking lose.
Matt did the super kick to Cash to win. And here's all the moves that were used. They copied the Rockers, the Steiners,
Bulldog.
the Hardys,
Swanton bomb.
the Midnight Express,
I don't know what that one was. I wonder.
the Rock and Roll Express,
Drop kicks,
the
maybe.
Hart Foundation,
Heart attack.
Arn and Ole,
Spike pile driver.
Arn and Tully, the Dudleys,
3D.
DIY, and Power and Glory.
You got
Yeah,
it, Power
I
and
know, but
Glory.
like, if it's what I'm thinking of, is where like Paul Roman would superplex somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, Hercules would superplex somebody off the top rope. At the same time, Paul Roman would time it and splash the guy. I never saw that.
Apparently, it was there.
Okay.
You wouldn't shut up about how you wanted Power
And
Glory.
then yeah, I know, because when you're in the bathroom, he was over there looking it up, and he said, "Oh, Power and Glory is on this list."
I don't remember it, but I'm right. All right.
Okay, so
To be fair, the only reason why I call the Power and Glory spots because you always want to see the Power and Glory spot.
yeah, it actually looks really good. For when they were a tag team, I think it was in like 1990. That was really actually something really innovative. There wasn't a lot of top rope stuff like there is now.
My first follow-up to this is, you can't keep saying AEW doesn't have the tag team division to watch, because they
Absolutely.
do this every pay-per-view. They put on a match that's
And
just,
and they have guys down the card who could have fit into this match and done the same stuff.
Lucha Bros.
Yeah. Private Party being a good one.
Best Friends that have been good.
Yeah. Power and Powerful, all of them. This match was outstanding. It hit every box. Like, This match was basically a spot fest that wasn't a spot fest. It made perfect sense.
Best match of this show.
Nothing was a fuck up.
was
Every
just-
move made sense.
It was slow enough and fast enough at the same time.
Right. To me, the last 5 minutes was what made this match a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
I agree.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I figured that's where we were going.
No
with it.
doubt about it.
I looked at you halfway through the match. I'm like, I kind of figure where I'm going with this already.
Yeah. Everything in the beginning, all the back and forth, was great. They got to the injury portion of the match where they sold it. Both teams sold it well. All the stealing of the moves was great callbacks. I think it was basically like a tag team solo. If you want, you got a
Tag
guitar
team
solo.
Apocalypso.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
we're like, sometimes a guitar player will play different solos from different guitar players. This is a take on
They
that.
played all the
Please.
hits.
Yeah, they played all the hits. Yeah,
Please don't talk about Man Mountain Rock.
I don't know what that is.
He was that WWF superstar like in Duke the Dumpster Drosie's days, or his gimmick was he was just a guitar player.
I never even saw him. I don't think he
And
lasted
his
long
guitar was a WWF logo.
So, somebody bring up the counter. We got our third ever 10 out of 10. Actually, do we have a fourth? Did you guys rate? Do you
We did
remember?
AJ Styles and Trisha Daniels at 10.
That, and we did
TLC.
the TLC, but we watched Revolution. Did we,
We
not all,
I don't think we rated that one.
We didn't rate it?
that
Okay.
show out of 10. I think we
didn't
just
get
said
that
what
way.
happened.
I was gonna say because I was like, I'm pretty sure we would have all rated the Bucks Hangman Kenny match a 10 too. But
Yeah.
if we didn't actually rate it, then that's different.
Everything.
So our third.
Everything in this match flowed. It never stopped.
Really
The-
great story.
The selling was good. Hell, I even like the idea that they flipped the scripts on each other, or the match flipped the scripts, like you said with the FTR doing a flip when they shouldn't have. And then on top of that, the hurt leg won the match for the Bucks.
Yeah.
And
He's just
goddamn,
like, I'm just gonna kick you. It's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna do it.
and
Ow.
and I thought FTR was going to win. And you predicted Young Bucks, Chris, and I get why. I could have seen either of these teams winning. It'd be fine.
I would have liked it better if that stipulation wasn't on it, because then I really wouldn't have known. But I felt the moment they did that stipulation that the Bucks were going to win, because they weren't going to have the Bucks and Cody not be able to go.
Otherwise,
for the
there'd be
titles.
AEW TNT tag titles.
Next week, the TNT Tag Team.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. If this is the only match you want to watch in this show, I'm sorry, if you want to watch the show and want to watch one match, watch this one. It's perfect.
Facts.
He's already got a 9.5 and a 10 on the show.
Exactly.
Well,
So then, after the match, Kenny Omega comes out to congratulate the Bucks, and you can see Hangman Page in the tunnel, just looking,
kind of distraught.
wondering what's happening in his life.
Oh. Going back to Omega and Paige, forgive me for this.
Are you saying that he's the yeehaw?
No, not that, but that's funny.
They're going back to the.
You had a
yeah.
theory about Hangman.
My point about how now he's lost everything. He doesn't have a friend.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a title. He doesn't have a shot at a title. He's got no future.
Yeah, this confirmed it because he's out in the back saying, I was with these guys for months, and now I can't come out there because
Fucking years.
now I've mandated all three of them.
Doesn't have any shots to drink.
Yeah.
I really kind of think that's going to be his turning point where he's going to get his shit together. Hopefully. I think this was his rock bottom moment when he lost.
And he's going to play it out on screen.
Has been
I hope
drinking.
so. I think that's how the story should go. He can't just be a drunk forever. Even though it was fun. It was really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, it'll get boring. It'll get boring. He can't come out with a beer every time. I mean, like, one guy did
Stone
that very
Cold.
well. but Austin didn't do it, like, before and during matches like Paige has done.
Paige is just like, we won. Give me your beer.
Yeah, his beer was only, like, after the match, knows us, he goes on a turnbuckle for, like, does his little... Put hits the cans together, get a little display and visual stuff, and...
I really think that's where they're going with it. That's what I'm saying.
But that never got stale, though. I don't know how it did, but just because it's Austin. But this is different, though. This is a character trait.
Yeah, they're
True.
they really got to, like, I feel like, Omega's going to go win the title. And then somewhere about, say, a year from now, we go back to it. And he'll probably get his win back and become champion. I think that's what's going to happen.
That'll be
It's
nice.
going to be Mox to Omega and Omega to Hangman. That's what I think's going to happen.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah, here comes the funnest match of the night.
Fuck, I can kind of guess what your rating's going to be for this one.
10 out of 10.
I wouldn't say all that, but...
So we got the Elite Deletion match. Delete! Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This is on the Hardy compound. And
these
It
matches
is-
never disappoint.
Fantastic.
I've seen every one of
Well,
these.
quote-unquote match.
I've seen
There's
every
a
one.
pinfall and a bell.
Shut up.
I've seen every single one of these Hardy compound matches, so I knew what to expect. But it was
I knew
still
what to
great.
expect too.
I've seen a couple. But so far the one I've seen like 2 or 3 of them. But you can't say if you've seen one, you've seen them all. You can't say that about these matches.
No,
right?
but you can call back to stuff that's happened in previous ones.
Chair
which is awesome.
wheels.
And they bring them all back in the Dome of Deletion. So
The
So,
chair of wheels, the mower of lawn.
Like the first thing that happens is Sammy's pulling up in a golf cart and he runs over
is funny.
King Maxwell's toy.
and it has Spanish
Toy
guy on
monster
the cart.
truck.
It has Spanish guy on the cart.
And then Matt Hardy
In a motherfucking
in a monster
monster
truck runs over Sammy Guevara's golf cart.
That was orgasmic.
Ah.
Then Sammy gets on the tire of the monster truck and does a moonsault.
That was like, yep, okay. That might as well happen.
So then these dudes are just throwing each other into fucking trees and suplexing each other on the straight dirt.
Yeah. Well, there's a little spot. I think it had hay on it, but still, I'm sure it doesn't tickle.
Well, then they do later on. They do the same suplex, about like 2 minutes later, onto the fucking grass, which doesn't.
I mean, they went all out here. No pun intended.
So then,
Well, this is Full Gear, so.
Oh, sorry.
all out, did you say all out?
He said all out.
Take a shot of beer?
I have.
Mini.
Oh, shit. So then, alright. Matt Hardy hits a side effect to Sammy. Matt does a power bomb to Sammy. Through a table.
This is in the ring, right? They finally got to a ring.
This is kind of... There's brown all over the place at this point. I don't even know where the fuck they are, to be honest. So then... Okay, this one didn't get in the ring. Matt does a powerbomb through a table to Sammy.
That was in the ring.
Twist of fate to Sammy from Matt. Sammy and Matt then grab fireworks and they're shooting each other. And Matt
Jesus.
So Sammy at one point in time falls into mud.
Yeah.
It just
One
gets
thing he did.
He's
Lucky.
just getting popped over and over and over again by these fucking
He's getting hit by these fucking
Roman
fireworks.
candles.
And he's getting hit in the ass.
The best part about it is that you don't see Matt Hardy. You just the camera's just focused on Guevara on the ground. All you see is these freaking flares coming firing right at him. And one of them, it literally had to hit him in his ass.
It's
If it
funny
didn't,
'cause, like,
it was awful close.
It did hit him in the ass.
As,
It literally hit him in
as
the
Matt
ass.
stops shooting him at him, but the thing's still going off. Matt's just walking. He's got it like off to the side. It's like boom, boom, boom.
You know what it reminds me of? There was this little video I saw a while back of this people during on 4th of July had a little bottle rocket set up. And they set it up on their stand, and they walk away. This little freaking yappy, small little freaking purse dog runs up and
That ain't
grabs
a
it
dog.
right when it's starting to fire off, and he's just running around with it, and it's just firing off flares. It's so great. Like when I saw the flares go off, and Matt Hardy, like you said, he was doing what he was doing, just walking like he's like some kind of badass, like, and he's just firing off.
Just going everywhere.
It's so
Is this
great.
when Gangrel and Hurricane show up?
Well, a couple minutes before that, they're in the ring and Proud and Powerful come in there and start beating up Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
And
So then
Private
Private
Party.
Party drives up and they start coming out and beating each other up. So it's kind of boring at that point in time.
There's nothing boring.
But then
about
Matt
this
does a
match.
twist of fate to Sammy.
Yeah.
Then you see the Hurricane and he's getting attacked by a guy in a black hood who says, "Let go of him, Matt."
Yeah, he has him held hostage or somehow. Yeah.
So
It's weird, yeah.
he takes off the hood and ends up being Gangrel,
So Gangrel at this point is pretty much holding the Hurricane hostage.
which Gangrel is actually Sammy Guevara's trainer.
My favorite thing about this bit is after Matt like saves Hurricane and like unleashes his cuffs. He just goes, "What the hell took you so long? It's been like 2 years." He's like, "Long-term storytelling."
Yeah.
Well, and then he said, Then he says, "I needed to get to AEW first."
Saying long-term storytelling just cracked me up.
But then, another thing too is, okay, so Sammy Guevara was trained by Gangrel, and then at one point in time in WWE or WWF back then, Gangrel was actually the manager of the Hardys because they were the new Brood. When we watched SummerSlam '99,
Yep.
he was the fucking manager of the Hardys.
Yep.
So that was a nice callback.
Jim Ross said Gangrel hasn't changed a bit.
And then he goes, otherwise known as
vampire.
David Heath.
Yeah.
He does say his name.
So then Sammy super kicks Hurricane out of frame. So then Gregory Helms comes, and Gregory Helms starts interviewing Sammy Guevara,
Newscaster.
which was a callback to when he was in WWE on the ECW brand, because he had the one gimmick where he was fighting Paul Burchill, and he was Hurricane when he was wrestling against Birchall, but then he was a backstage interviewer at the same time.
Oh, okay. Like alter ego.
And he would ask Birchall questions about the Hurricane, and Birchall would be like, "You're the Hurricane." I don't know who Hurricane is. I've seen him in the ring before, but I don't know who he is.
I've heard of him, but I don't know who he is.
Yep. So then, Sammy super kicks Gregory Helms.
And then he chucks him into the.
He chucks him into the Lake of Reincarnation, which turns him back into Hurricane.
This is great because when he comes back, Jim Ross goes, "Well, he is known to swim fast."
They're back.
I love JR.
Everyone's in the ring now, and Hurricane does the Eye of the Storm to Santana, which is pretty fun. Sammy is okay. So now they're making their way to the Dome of Deletion.
Which is more like just
it looks like a warehouse with all
The warehouse of deletion.
and it has all the broken Matt Hardy gimmicks in there.
Well, you close the door, and first things first you see the wheelchair.
The
chair
what?
wheels?
The chair of wheels.
Okay.
Which is also the same one used at Stadium Stampede.
Yes.
You also see the piano that Rebby Hardy was playing at Bound for Glory for the Hardys' entrance in the Great War versus Decay.
the Great War.
You see the mower of lawns, the lawn mower used in the match with Bray Wyatt.
The mower of lawns.
You see the ring, and you also see the entrance for the one episode of TNA Impact that they had strictly at the Hardy compound. So there's also a big fucking ladder sitting there and a table set up in the
18
ring
feet up.
randomly.
Yeah, randomly. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, randomly.
So Sammy starts attacking Matt with the turnbuckle hooks.
Yeah, that was a really cool spot.
And then Sammy starts taking the ropes and starts choking Matt with these ropes.
I don't know why you let go.
I know. He'll pass out eventually.
Then Sammy puts Matt onto a table and does a swanton off like a 20-foot ladder.
Jeff Hardy, baby. Second Hardy spot.
Then there's only like one turnbuckle at this point in time, and it's the top rope that's still there. So Matt does a spear through the table, which is a callback through... Technically, you could say it's a callback to WrestleMania 22 with Foley and Edge minus the fire.
This is what I thought. But
you can also say it's a callback to All Out when they did the...
It had to be.
It's
Scissor lift
definitely
spot.
a callback to All Out.
Because of the head wound, too.
But the difference between here is this was done safely and...
Yeah, that brings up the camera angles, and they edited that one because they just, obviously Guevara had to get set up for the next spot.
So now they're just randomly fighting, and then at one point in time, Matt grabs a chair and does a concerto to Sammy on the straight concrete, so not another chair.
To be honest, there was nothing really happening here. He went through that table, Matt beat the shit out of him, and then
And Guevara plays a limp, dead body as best as anybody could ever do it. He's like it's not like he wasn't there opening his eyes. He wasn't there moving his arms to help out Matt Hardy. He just was like limp.
I'm not even going to lie, like for the effects of it, because obviously they had the stage set up because they weren't going to fucking actually bust him up like that. It looked as real as you can get for a production value.
Yeah.
So Matt Hardy
With the pool
takes
of blood on the concrete. and
Matt
shit.
Hardy takes the win, and then as soon as that happens, Private Party come back, and they put Sammy Guevara's corpse into a trash can.
Of course.
I mean, he's fucking dead, man.
And they put it into a truck, and you see Senor Benjamin driving the truck away.
Senor Benjamin in the always classic Dodge Dakota Sport.
Then Rebby Hardy starts playing a piano in celebration as there's fireworks going off.
And then the full gear
Well,
logo pops
Gregory
up.
Helms, Hurricane, Matt Hardy, and Private Party are all celebrating.
Delete.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Or as he wrote, oh shit.
No,
that's the next match, but yeah.
That's MJF.
I still see oh shit.
Yeah. I like the. This is. It wasn't supposed to be a cinematic match, obviously, but like I like the idea that they had the wrestling in there as a little bit of a. It's like a little meat to the part. It's like a little the right amount of filler to make everything seem like it's like a whole presentation.
I brought that up when we were watching. It's like, yeah, it's a cinematic match, but when they were doing moves, they were doing moves. It didn't look fake when they were doing the moves.
But you're right though. I was waiting to see what Matt Hardy and Guevara were going to do, and like they did focus on some of the wrestling a little bit too much. If I'm going to nitpick it, but I mean these guys are professionals. These guys are freaking awesome, and they're just doing moves at this point just for the sake of doing moves.
Plus, technically, in this match, you'd have to take 4 shots. There are 4 debuts. Senior Benjamin.
Yeah, that's from that drinking game.
And weapons.
Rebby Hardy.
No,
Gangrel.
Rebby debuted before.
Oh, that's right. So you'd have to take 3 because there's Hurricane. Well, actually, no, you can take 4. Gregory Helms, Hurricane, Gangrel,
I don't think
and
the same
Senior
person
Benjamin.
counts.
It's a
twice.
character. It's a character.
And Senior Benjamin.
Yeah.
Senior
And not to mention the weapons use. I think I'd be passed out by now on the floor, face down.
I mean, would you count each fucking flare as a weapon?
I don't know which one. As many of them connected, maybe. I know
That's
at
a
least
good
one of
question.
them did.
One for sure hit Sammy in the ass.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's regretting it right now too.
Well, I mean, at least his pants didn't catch on fire. I think the mud might have made
No, I'm
that
saying
not
lucky
happen.
you're wet.
Yeah, I was glad there was actually some wrestling in there. Not just total nonsense, but like even when they were like walking along the forest and they were hitting suplexes and all that stuff. All the way towards the end, I mean, no, it was good. I enjoyed this whole thing. As a wrestling match, are we gonna do like wrestling
I'm not.
slash
I'm
entertainment?
not. I'm
I'm
rating
rating
this
it
as
1 straight rating.
I'm rating this as what it was. And
Okay, no, 8.
I gave it an 8 as well.
8.
yeah, no, this is really good.
This wasn't Matt Jackson giving Santana fucking Northern Light suplexes for 100 yards and a touchdown. But,
Yeah,
you know.
this is something that probably took just as long to film as it took to watch, instead of that one that took 8 hours to film.
That was it was fucking it was, okay.
But then it was raining that night when they filmed the Stadium Stampede, so they had to catch the moments where they could actually film the fucking thing.
Exactly. I mean, fuck that moment.
Yeah.
That match had so many good moments. I can't wait to review that show.
And they only filmed that the night before the show, so they only had that set amount of time.
we need to review that like before Double or Nothing next year, just because I want us to review the part where Jericho puts the cone on his head and goes hee hee.
That's a T-shirt.
So stupid, but so funny.
This is great.
There was one thing they I don't know if they were doing it at the beginning or not, but when they were in the Dome of Deletion, there was more dramatic music being placed over
That was the biggest part, and the only reason why is because at that point, once they got into the Dome of Deletion,
it was just a two of them.
I feel like the commentary actually wasn't as much.
They didn't really say anything until the match was over.
Yeah, they kind of they would comment about the Swanton, and you know they mentioned like about the head wound that and the concerto and everything like that. But other than that, they weren't saying much at all. They laid back.
That's the one thing that I didn't like is the fact that they had commentary. The rest of the Hardy Compound matches have had only music like that.
I don't hate the commentary. I just was thrown off by it.
Excalibur.
What was he doing?
Just being stupid like always.
I don't know. I think the commentary helped when he said Hurricane was known for being a great swimmer.
Yeah. What was Gangrel's real name again?
David Heath.
And they said that because they can't call him Gangrel on the TV.
He did call him
He did call
Gangrel.
Oh, they did?
He said
Okay.
Gangrel hasn't changed a bit.
Plus, on top of that, Gangrel's on a Ring of Honor
true.
show in 2020 using that name.
Oh, fair enough.
He owns the rights to it. He also uses it in porn.
Yeah,
Really?
that's the thing.
They call it fanging and banging.
And hanging.
Not as fanging and banging. He's probably not hanging.
He's not hanging enough to be hanging.
Well, damn. All right, good for him.
He's got to get Paige on there. Hangman Page.
Hey, dude.
Paige here.
Hangman Page.
Yeah.
What's that,
Paige here.
Paige?
Yeah, 8 out of 10. It was nonsense
sure.
and silly, and it was perfect. 8 out of 10. Go.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Because it was perfect. 8 out of 10.
Then what did we have?
We had the Jake Roberts.
We had
5
a
stars
we
too.
had this promo was a lot more long-winded than it should be. Jake Roberts, I couldn't tell what he said at the beginning. His voice was a little too raggedy.
He was singing that one.
Gravelly for me.
He was singing that one song. Counting cards upon the wall, it don't bother me at all. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo.
Yep, that's the song.
I don't remember what the song's called though.
Yeah, so Jake Roberts and Lance Archer had they were outside somewhere. I think in an alley. Not in alley, but in an alley. In case y'all nasty people want to say
Oh, it
something.
could be in alley.
I'll be in alley.
Jake Roberts pretty much says that Archer needs a fight because he's not in the card. And then
He said he wants to eat people.
yeah, because he's hungry.
He
yeah.
said he's hungry, but he doesn't. He eats people.
And a brief synopsis of Archer because he talked like for almost 2 minutes and like, dude, just say that you want to fight people and you don't care who it is and everybody dies and go home. I mean, he took like fucking 5 minutes to say something that'll take 30 seconds.
Kind of tried to sound preachy.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because he is outside of the ring extremely religious, so having a preachy vibe to his promo kind of makes sense.
I was like, okay, well, I get the point. You want to fight somebody. I get
We
it.
get the fucking point.
You could have done this on Dynamite. Oh.
Nitro?
No, I said Dynamite.
Take a drink.
No.
He could have did this on night two.
I did say Nitro. You said Nitro, so you drink.
He could have did this on night 2.
Which also would have been
Dynamite.
wrong.
Full Gear.
Which also would have been wrong.
There's
All right,
two
I'll
nights-
drink. Jesus.
There's 2 nights just like Fyter Fest, you know.
I have no problem taking a shot.
I don't know, with the amount of stuff they put on this show and how good it was, I wouldn't mind the 2 nights of this shit.
Okay. I have a question. Okay, so if you're not on the wrestling card itself, but you have like a promo spot, do you still get paid?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how their contracts work. I think everybody
mean-
kind of has a set base.
I mean, that's like asking if they get paid to do the merch spot in the Ring of Honor shows.
Okay. I guess my question should be like, is it less than the guys who work?
I would presume that, yeah.
I don't know about the contracts, though. I can't really say that.
That or if it's like
And it's not the old days, because that's exactly would be a great question if it was like the old days. You got paid for your spot.
that,
Yeah.
or if it was like SmackDown versus Raw when you had the GM mode where you got paid a certain amount per week no matter what.
And the take. You got paid for the take. You got paid your percentage from the take back in the day.
Yeah. Fraction
And
of the
merch
yeah.
sales, DVD sales.
Yeah, that's why guys would go out back at back of the stadium or the arena and start selling the T-shirts.
Can you just imagine, like, back in the day, going to a show and you see, like, Pete Rose, or Buddy Rose? Buddy Rose
Taking a
selling his
steak face?
own merch in the back. Jim Cornette selling Midnight Express shit in the trunk of his car.
I mean,
He does that now.
I need to
In the
make
basement
more
of
money.
his house.
and now you don't have to do that because there's so much merch available. All you gotta do is walk in. There's a whole big room just filled with it all. Excuse me.
Hey, can we get Stephen P. New here?
No, shut up. Move
that?
on. What's next?
We need to get him for this next match.
Do I need to ask what that is about, or you don't want to skip
It's
it?
one of Jim Cornette's primary lawyers
Steve.
and sponsors.
We might need him on this next match though. There's a little bit of fuckery.
It's great. It's great.
There's MJF versus Chris Jericho. And just in case no one knew this, JR had to repeat this a few times.
Explaining multiple times.
If MJF wins, he's in the inner circle. If he loses, he's not.
You know what I thought was weird? Each time they did explain it, I'm like, wow. This he can say with utmost confidence, but just basic commentary and moves he can't remember sometimes. He called that moonsault off the
He did.
I think he called it a Hurricane Rana or something.
Yeah.
I was like, get your moves right, JR.
He makes mistakes.
No, he was still good. Like I didn't have any problems with the commentary on the show.
So MJF does a clothesline to Jericho. Jericho slammed MJF on the outside
FJF.
and took a camera. And then you can clearly see he's flipping off MJF in that camera.
Yeah, that was fun.
Jericho does the Judas effect to the ring post.
Which is a great spot because more selling for the whole.
Well, let's just say he misses the Judas effect and hits the ring post. That ring post is like, I was waiting for Jim Ross to yell, that ring post had a family.
I was seriously thinking
It was round, now it's square.
I was thinking Excalibur was gonna make the reference that it's a square ring post and not a.
Hey, you
circular
fucking said it
one.
right after he hit it.
I figured he was gonna say that.
That ring post has a family.
So then Jericho does a backdrop and a clothesline to MJF.
With the proclamation by MJF when he did the backdrop. Oh shit!
As he's falling.
It's
Yep.
outstanding.
Then MJF and Jericho are both biting each other's fingers.
They're hungry. They want to eat.
MJF did a couple knees to Jericho's back when he's stuck in the corner. Jericho did a double sledge and a lion salt to MJF, which looked really cool. He can still do that at his age. What the fuck?
I mean,
Then Jericho does a Frankensteiner to MJF.
Wow. Nice.
And Excalibur and Tony Schiavone are both fucking just, holy shit, you can still do that after 30 years?
I
And
fucking do
Jericho's
it.
like, I'm Chris Jericho, damn it.
Chris Jericho, bitch.
MJF does a double stomp to Jericho's arm, which is cool. MJF does the salt of the earth to Jericho. Then Jericho does the walls of Jericho to MJF. MJF then does a code breaker and a heat seeker to Jericho.
That's my favorite spot in the match. I love the Heat Seeker.
Jericho does a code breaker to MJF. Jericho went for the Judas effect, but then
Got caught.
Yep. Into the salt of the earth. Then Wardlow runs out and hands MJF the diamond ring,
It distracts the referee.
which then Jake Hager is not shown at this point, but he throws Floyd into the ring for Jericho.
I love this part. This is so fucking funny. MJF just fucking gives him the fingers and falls down.
MJF then pulls an Eddie Guerrero, which is actually pretty fitting, seeing as the next episode that will be up is the Eddie Guerrero tribute.
Yeah,
Viva La Raza.
that
MJF
3.5 hour behemoth of a show.
MJF flips off Jericho and lays down.
In perfect timing to turn around, and
Where
Aubrey
then Aubrey is like, you got the bat, you hit him.
Jericho drops, is like,
And then MJF rolls him up, 1, 2, 3. MJF is now in the inner
surprise roll
circle.
up.
Never, like people kick out of the Falcon era. Nobody kicks out of the surprise small or the surprise roll up. Nobody does.
This is a good use of the surprise roll up, though.
I never would have I'm glad that I was this guy from What Culture who coined that phrase.
Simon Miller.
Yeah, I'm glad he coined that. And when I was watching it all the time, is because WWE was doing that a lot, and now I make fun of it. But it's also a great little way to get across the idea. The movies is fun.
One of my good buddies that I watch, Solid Monster, he always calls it the fruit roll up. And he has a distraction roll up count for Raw where he counts every fucking time they use
So
it.
does Simon Miller.
Yeah.
And
For every
he's
time a match ends in it.
And he's at, for this particular year, he's at like 72 finishes of that.
The most dangerous move in sports entertainment.
And he says 98% of the time they play the fucking theme song of someone, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, you're done.
And it's I love What Culture. They're great. This match wasn't as it was kind of slow, but I think it had to be because both of these guys are methodical wrestlers. And
MJF is definitely methodical.
Yeah,
didn't matter.
And they wanted they wanted their spots to mean something. MJF wearing the light bright jacket, faking us all out.
That was great.
The Jericho entrance.
Yeah, and then Jericho comes out, gets his entrance, and people sing the song back at him. That never gets old. That's awesome.
We were
every time.
singing.
It's really sad because that was like a nostalgia trip back to when fans were.
Yeah, and you can see Chris Jericho just in pure happiness, it's pure content. Like,
Okay, you want to see pure happiness? Watch the very first time it happens
on the Jericho cruise.
Well, I think this
He's
is
literally like in shock. He goes, "They're supposed to fucking hate me."
I think this is the best reaction he's had since then, where he was just like, "All right, this is cool."
But yeah, he's just looking through all the crowd. It's 1,000 of them, and they're all singing it back, pretty much. Even if you don't know the words, you're gonna hum it. One way or the other. You're gonna.
I mean, Sammy Guevara never knew the words.
No, he did not.
He tried.
Yeah, this match was methodical, and it was pretty much had a good pace. Speaking of Jericho not or doing moves that were just like age defying was when he jumped up the turnbuckle after being flipped over the other one, almost like the Ric Flair spot. And the ending was great. Yeah, I give this match. Unfortunately, it's the lowest rated match of the card. I gave it a 6.5. It was just too slow for me.
I'm gonna give it 7.5. I told you nothing on the main card is below a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.5.
That's the only one below a 7.
I gave it a 7.5 as well. And then after the match, Jericho goes, MJF is now in the inner circle. And Wardlow is too. And then they did the Armageddon 2003 spot where they're all just standing there without holding championship belts, but holding each other's arms up at the end of the pay-per-view.
I just thought it was hilarious because the moment that music started playing, I'm like, God
Evolution.
damn, I forgot how much their song sounds like Evolution.
It's evolution is a mystery.
And then they literally went into that spot you just said, which is like, oh, then it really is Evolution.
Yeah. They just needed title belts.
No, but I like the Heat Seeker pile driver. I like the Randy Orton draping DDT.
That is cool.
Both of those moves are great because they dangle from the fucking second rope.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. So then, do we just have we had an OC promo.
Yeah,
Well,
he's hanging out with
promo.
best friends, and he's about to he gets asked about his match, and he says, I'm sorry, the interviewer says, do you have any thoughts about your match that you had with Joey Silver?
John Silver.
John Silver, sorry. And he says, no, I don't have any thoughts about it. And then Miro and Sabian, Miro and Kip Sabian walk up,
Penelope Ford.
and I couldn't tell what they were saying.
Pretty much they were saying that they weren't finished with him yet. He needs to apologize. Orange Cassidy said he's sorry. Then, was it Miro that slapped?
No, Sabian slapped him.
Sabian slapped him. And then I
That's
think
kinda-
it's Trent that goes, you're just going to let him slap you after you apologized? And he goes, yeah.
No big
And then
deal.
they
They
left.
walk off.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So-
To me, I'm not sure why they had put this in there. That could be done on Dynamite. Come on.
Well, and then the weirdest part is then they show a promo for Dynamite's matches again.
I thought they were gonna add
And I
something.
thought they were going to add that
'Cause
match.
They already talked about
But they
those.
didn't.
The 3 matches they talked about. They already talked about the first time they brought that up.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so like, bunkhouse match. Women's match.
Okay, so remember earlier we were talking about all the size of the roster and how much of it isn't on this pay-per-view. All of them got on there.
This is pretty much how they got him on there. I mean, the Lucha Bros were on the pre-show, but they were there.
Yeah, so
Well, they didn't have Jurassic Express.
Yeah, they weren't there. There's an absentee of a 65 billion year old dinosaur. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, he's sleeping. He's tired.
He was at the town hall meeting.
He was asking about how MJF could help dinosaurs or something like that.
He asked how, yeah, he asked how
And
he could
MJF
help
was
them.
like, "Huh? No, shut up."
And
MJF
now we got a question from Eric B from Cody, Wyoming.
And then Bischoff comes out. Well, Peter Avalon was out there first.
That was great. That's great.
Can I join the Dark Order?
Inner Circle.
Then MJF and Jericho, no.
Yeah,
He just walks
It
away.
makes me laugh because they wanted David Arquette to do that spot.
That'd have been great. But then we had another match that was pretty great. I Quit match for the AEW World Title. Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. First off, is Eddie Kingston is wearing a shirt that says Thug. And what did they stand for?
I didn't read the shirt.
I thought one of you two would have fucking read the shirt.
You literally just set us up for a question that we don't know the answer to.
God damn
You
it.
dumbass.
Well, so he doesn't know either.
That's what I'm saying. He thought we would answer.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Dumbass.
Well, JR said it on commentary if you guys want to watch. I recommend it.
I recommend this thing I don't remember.
But he's wearing gear in honor of Masawa.
There's that.
Eddie Kingston is. Kingston did a belly-to-belly to Moxley. Moxley did a tope to Kingston. Moxley did a suplex to Kingston on the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only one that looked worse than the suplexes that happened in the Elite Deletion match.
Yeah.
Moxley hit Kingston with a barbed wire baseball bat. Then Moxley started rubbing the barbed wire onto Kingston's face. Kingston did a backdrop to Moxley. Kingston hit Moxley with a chair.
And then threw it at his head because he can't do a headshot.
Yep. Then Kingston took the barbed wire off of the bat and started wrapping it in his hand and started punching Moxley with it.
Yeah.
Moxley suplexed Kingston onto 2 chairs.
Because you set it up, you go through it.
He only hit one chair, though. And it looked stiff as hell.
Yeah.
Only did a German
Probably
to
because he only
Kingston.
hit one chair.
Moxley did a German to Kingston. Kingston did a backdrop to Moxley. Moxley clotheslined Kingston. Kingston did a Uranagi. Actually, first, Kingston grabs a bag from under the ring, and what's in the bag, Albert?
Thumbtacks Abyss Special.
Yes.
Thank you. The Albert is here with his great Abyss impression.
And
Held you off. You
then,
didn't think I was going to do it, did you?
and then he pours the thumbtacks out, and Kingston does a Uranagi to Moxley into the thumbtacks.
Ooh.
Then Kingston low blows Moxley at least 3 or 4 times.
I think there's a spot where like he was driving his foot into his groin.
That was the "Oh Canada" spot. You just needed to sing "Oh Canada."
Oh, okay. There you go.
He starts singing the Mexican anthem.
Oh, okay. Next. Oh,
What's the Mexican anthem? I don't know what it is.
oh, the next spot is just so brutal.
Then
Oh, yeah.
Kingston grabs a bottle of rubbing alcohol.
Now, mind you, Moxley has about 20 tacks in his back.
And not to mention the cut in his forehead. That
Oh.
Anywhere that he got hit, there's
and
Do the math.
it's just cringeworthy.
Kingston
God.
grabs the bottle
In a good
of
way.
rubbing alcohol and starts pouring it all over Moxley.
The whole bottle.
He wasn't even subtle about it. He was just.
He was flopping around like a fish.
Whew.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I would have quit. But then again, once it already happened, you're like, well, even if you quit, it's not going to stop hurting all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So at the point,
So then, as soon as
but, yeah, I
Moxley
would
is
quit. That
rolling
sucks.
around in pain, Kingston goes to the thumbtacks, grabs a bunch, puts them in his hand, and punches Moxley in the face with a fistful of thumbtacks, which
Keep your
a
eyes
few
shut.
of them get stuck in Moxley's head.
Yeah, I wonder how they got there. I must have missed that spot. I don't know how. I must
Holy
have writing
shit.
down
Yeah,
something.
I didn't see the punches, but I pointed out the fact that he had thumbtacks in his head.
Moxley did a sleeper to Kingston. Then Moxley did a pile driver to Kingston. Moxley did the Death Rider, which is an inverted paradigm shift to Kingston.
Well, it's
Not a paradigm shift like someone called it.
It's the elevated paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Inverted would be basically a crossroads.
Right.
Moxley then grabbed the little chunk of barbed wire that Kingston had taken off the bat and did the bulldog choke with it wrapped around his arm,
This looked...
which made the referee...
Yeah, I thought Bryce was going to cry. He was waiting for it. He's like, please quit.
Which made the referee say that Kingston quit. Kingston never officially
yeah,
quit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he says I quit.
He says I
He
quit.
does say I quit.
I thought the referee was the one who called it, though.
No.
I think he said please quit.
He was telling him to quit, and then he did.
Well, Kingston quits. Spoiler alert. Kingston has a right for a rematch if he fights it hard enough.
He always has a fucking...
So Moxley wins. Holy shit.
Lot to unpack.
So this is the new Full Gear thing. They put a fucking Texas deathmatch style match at the end of every single one.
Next year, bunkhouse match.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to have Moxley in it, though. He's got to main event all the
Moxley will
Full
be in a
Gears.
bunkhouse match.
Put weapons in there like that friggin' thing he and Jericho had in WWE. What do they call that?
The
Ambrose Asylum.
Yeah, Ambrose Asylum match.
I groaned.
With the mop. And the
There's
plant.
a mop in there, that's right.
And the plant.
Plant.
Well, the plant made sense. That was
Mitch the Plant.
Mitch the plant.
He died for our sins.
This match was everything it says it was. They didn't bullshit for 1 second, and they put their bodies on the line. So I appreciate them for that. I hope they're okay. God, jeez, whenever I'm at work and I gotta like get hand sanitizer or whatever, and I have a little itty bitty cut from from whatever I'm doing at work, and you know it, and that shit stings, and you know this as well as anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So-
that's what I cut myself a lot.
And that's just like
You cut yourself a lot.
And I'm talking about this, it's like a little glop that fits in the palm of your hand, and you're just rubbing on your hands, right? But this was a whole bottle, roughly probably like 8 fluid ounces or so, maybe more. And a whole thing was,
He just fucking
his
pours
back.
it all over him.
and Ambrose is so tough.
Ambrose.
I'm sorry, Moxley is so tough. I'm out of beer.
out of
Moxley is so tough that he just takes it like a champ, but he sells it like a boss.
Like, he's a tough son of a bitch.
Abyss, you couldn't even do that.
They both are, actually.
Right. God damn.
My only problem with this match is there's no way I believe that Kingston was going to come up with something that would make me believably think Moxley would quit. That was my
Right.
only issue going into the match.
So who's more likely to quit, John Moxley or John Cena?
You got a tape recorder?
Nope, none of this
You
one.
need it.
Then it will never end.
This match was, this match is right up there with, it's just below the 10s and 9s and a half. I gave it a 9. It was exactly what it was.
You?
I gave it an 8.5.
Oh, shit. You're going to give me the deciding vote.
You're going to
What
go
vote?
up, you're going to go down, you're going to...
Well,
Hey, you have quarters. We can't do quarters.
Yeah, you do quarters.
Oh, yes!
forget, you got
8.75.
There you
He's
go.
like, I'm not going to make a decision, I'm going to split the
Yeah.
middle.
Right in the middle.
Hell yeah.
That was when I was watching it, it felt like it was plodding along, but this whole show was what 2.5 hours long,
It's
maybe
probably
3.
like 4.
4? Okay.
It didn't feel that long.
No.
Yeah, that's the
And-
exact point I was going to say. He just thought it was 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours long. It's like
Yeah.
4 hours long.
And this match was the same because these guys didn't stop, and there was one thing that you always had something you were paying attention to, which is the opposite of the Jericho and MJF match. The story in that match was good, but it felt like it was just plodding along, and I was like, okay, can this match be over? Because just get to the end. We know that MJF is going to win.
The ending there sold me, though. That was so
But the ending was fine. But with especially with Ambrose winning the way he did, he's a dominant champion.
Ambrose.
Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's all good.
Moxley, John motherfucking Moxley.
There you go.
He looked like a freaking boss.
Cena!
He looked like a tough motherfucker. Eddie Kingston came up looking like a badass. That's why this match gets to 9 because both these guys got over.
Oh, no, they worked fucking hard.
Yeah, and they put their bodies on the line. I was going to give that match less than a 9 after it was over.
I feel so bad for Revolution now. Their next pay-per-view's got so much to live up to. Unlike this one that
Right.
had to go after All Out, which was...
That's a question of mine. So, are we thinking that this one's way better because of how
No, this
disappointing
is just, no.
the last show was?
No,
or is
this
it
is-
just
I didn't
that
watch
fucking
it.
good?
Yeah, he didn't even watch the
I didn't
last
watch
show.
it, so-
This was just really good. I really enjoyed this. Everything they wanted to have happen at All Out, they did here.
So then, obviously you guys have seen what people have said about all the pay-per-views this year without physically having to watch
I
them
wouldn't
all.
even say all the pay-per-views this year. I'm talking all the pay-per-views they've done.
No, I'm talking like every company here.
I'm talking everything since AEW started. At least this is the best show I've watched.
I'm talking like, okay, because I'm thinking if I had to say out of all the 2020 shows that I've watched, this one is the best one so far.
It's better than all the 2019 shows I watched too.
Yeah.
And actually, I'd only put WrestleMania 17 maybe above this. Maybe.
Yeah, this is definitely like we've always kept. We always say we watch shows and they end up being good for a variety of reasons. This one was good for every reason.
The only reason I say maybe WrestleMania 17 is because we went through this entire show. Did we say to skip any of these matches?
Honestly, the only match that if you really wanted to skip it, skip the buy-in then.
But so like on the main card, I'm not even talking about
the main card. Fucking just watch the whole thing. You guys will be impressed. It's got something for everybody.
My argument I'm not saying it's better than WrestleMania 17. I am saying there is a lot of skippable shit on WrestleMania 17.
Oh yeah, no, there definitely is. But you got to think back then.
Gimmick Battle Royal being.
WrestleMania 17 is like a fucking literally like a hey, let's try to get everyone on the card.
Yeah.
This one was each match has importance. The only match that didn't have like a main story was Nyla and Sheeta.
Oh, and they made the story.
And all was the belt. That's it.
And during that match, they made it worth it.
Yeah.
They pull for arrogance.
Yeah. Those two spots were funny as shit. I loved them.
I mean, those two made that match worth it. And going into it, I have to say that
that's the only one I probably boosted my rating up because I was surprised.
Silver and OC was the worst match on the card in my eyes, and that wasn't even a bad match.
It wasn't the worst match on the card.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what would you guys call the worst match on the card?
Jericho and MJF.
Shit, what was the lowest match that I rated? It might have been that match, but.
See, mine would be Silver and OC, and it's not even because of that. It's just the fact that I thought OC and Silver could have used a little extra time, and then I would have made it a little bit better in my eyes.
I don't know if they could have used more time because I don't know how much more OC can do outside of because he did the 20-minute match with Cody, but he did a lot of the same stuff.
But look at the match with Pac. Holy fuck!
That was not that much longer than this.
That was a great match.
It was.
Yeah. If
I
anybody
gave that a 9. I remember that.
If anybody wants to watch this, watch the whole thing.
Oh yeah. No.
Honestly, you don't skip anything.
Should have said at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the podcast. If you haven't seen the show yet, just turn it off and buy it. That's my review.
Yeah. But if I had to pick one match, obviously it's going to be FTR and Bucks, and I'm sorry, the Young Bucks.
And for you, followed closely by Cody and Darby, apparently.
If you guys are into pure stories and not exactly tag team, then watch the main event. But if you want to watch just a sick ass fucking tag match, watch the Bucks match.
Which had stories as well.
Oh yeah, no, they all did. But it's like out of all the matches, like if they're not into tag team matches, watch the fucking main event.
Yeah.
Or watch Elite Deletion just so you can laugh.
Yeah.
You can watch Elite Deletion to laugh. You can watch on Silver and fucking...
Silver and OC will make you laugh too.
Like you said, Chris, it had something for everybody. Good show. Perfect show. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Later. Eddie Guerrero special. Next.
Viva
Eddie
la Raza.
Guerrero, Viva la Raza.